I decided to re-record this because I didn't want to be on here too long. But, you know, it's heads I win, tails you lose with the Republican Party. They got the crap kicked out of them in the midterms. In general, and the anti-abortion wing of the nutters, the nutbags, they really got their asses handed to them, because everywhere that abortion was put on the ballot, whether it was to codify abortion rights or it was to ban it or whatever, no matter what it was, abortion rights won. Just as it did easily in Kansas last summer. So, Ohio, some of the polls there in Idaho, or not Idaho, Ohio, gosh damn it, 2 different states, Ohio, have decided they want to make it to where it's harder to pass initiatives or referenda in that state, because they know that it's about abortion. The guy that's proposing it is talking about special interests and why we have to have a supermajority. Well, not quite a supermajority, but a 60-40 at least for anything to become law there. It's very transparent. It's because, especially following the scandal of the 10-year-old rape victim who couldn't get an abortion in Ohio and had to go to Indiana, the anti-abortion nutters are on the ropes. So instead of admitting defeat, no, they're going to try to put their religiously whacked ideas that women's places in the home, cooking and cleaning, and being child bearers and child raisers under the thumb of a man. They're going to try to do, instead of abandoning that notion and actually being in the 21st century, they want to put it in there by any way possible. And, you know, what's to stop them from making it a 90-10 vote? But anyway, it's been shot down. These schemes almost everywhere that they've tried to limit this, referenda or initiatives, it's been shot down. But that hasn't stopped nutters in Ohio from trying to put restrictions on voting. And of course it's about his proposals about abortion, because he sees what the hell's going on with it. And this isn't about special interests. Obviously it's not. And then, of course, the big story last week was about somehow there was a leak in the USSC, but it wasn't made public like the Dobbs leak. But this guy claimed that he had learned about the Hobby Lobby opinion of 2014, and he gained access. He said he'd worked for years to exploit the court's permeability. He gained access through faith, through favors traded with gatekeepers, and through wealthy donors to his organization, abortion opponents whom he called stealth missionaries. And it used to be you couldn't get anything out of the high court until they ruled. But we know now that that's not true, and it's been that way for a number of years, at least in one other case. In May, the draft opinion about Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization, was leaked in what Justice Alito recently called a grave betrayal. He probably leaked it, although I wouldn't put it past Roberts to do it. The Chief Justice took the unusual step of ordering an investigation by the Supreme Court's marshal. 2 months later, Mr. Shank, who's the individual involved in this other case, sent his letter to Chief Justice Roberts saying that he believed his information about the Hobby Lobby case was relevant to the inquiry. He said he has not gotten any response. So it's not the first time information has leaked. So anyway, there was that. But the USSC is corrupt anyway. It's been corrupt since the 90s with the Paula Jones shit. It's pretty obvious. And then, you don't even have to be pregnant. You don't have to even be a pregnant woman to go to jail. She was jailed for using drugs. This was a number of months ago that this happened. I think in February. But the woman brought a lawsuit recently. And she was jailed for using drugs during pregnancy, and she wasn't even pregnant. And Stacy Freeman, who had been under investigation by the County Department of Human Resources for alleged substance use, told a social worker their mom was pregnant. Without any medical confirmation, Etowah County Sheriff Investigator Brandy Fuller issued a warrant for Freeman's arrest for chemical endangerment of a child. And Freeman was booked into the Etowah County Detention Center on February 1st. And Freeman's lawyer, Martin Weinberg, filed suit against the sheriff's office this week, or a couple of weeks ago, over the injustice, seeking an unspecified amount in damages. It's just shameful. You can go off somebody's word that somebody's pregnant. It's easy to verify through a pregnancy test. Well, welcome to the brave new world, post-Roe world. Going to see a lot of damn shit going on like this. And then I really think that Bruce Jenner, or Caitlyn as his alter ego is, he should go back home and practice his fetish. I don't think he should be called upon to comment about male cheaters in women's sports. The ones who are really affected are the women who are being cheated out of titles, records, scholarships, money, all that kind of thing. You know, it's theft is what it is. And let's see. In any case, he made the comment, and of course he supports sex segregation in sports. That's the correct point of view, but he's not the person to make that kind of stuff. Anyway, he commented in response to a sophomore Seattle Academy male who is beating his female competition with 2 victories, including one in a conference championship and 3 top 2 finishes in 8 races this season. This male's participation in female sports has sparked fierce outrage among parents and competitors, who pointed out that the 5,000-meter runner finished in 72nd place in a boys cross-country race just 1 year prior to joining the girls' team. Well, yeah, he can't cut it with the boys, so hey, get a second chance stealing from girls. That ought to be absolutely banned. Absolutely legally banned. And then, even though I don't much support what Tucker Carlson has to say, the other day he talked about, in large part in his commentary, he talked about the mutilation of minors in this so-called transgender crap. That all ought to be against the law. All of it. All across the board. None of it should be allowed. For kids, for adults, none of it. Because psychosurgery is always unethical. And it's quackery. And it has no place in any society. So anyway, the argument against kids going through this is considered more likely to get public support because kids can't make decisions. But the thing is, it shouldn't be allowed anyway because it's all quackery and nobody changes sex. So it's all bullshit. But I will put that up here because he did have a lot of good points here. So anyway, that's kind of about it, and it has not been easy the last few days because the grief is coming back. I don't know if I'll ever get over it. Oh, I never will get over it. But, you know, if I think about that person for any length of time, I lose it. So anyway, that is going to be it for me on this day after Thanksgiving 2022.